Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Yet again, to another edition of What Really Matters NYC with your host, Tony Keevan. We're live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. and we've got our commentator, Lorraine, on the phone. Commentator Lorraine, are you there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Commentator Lorraine gives us the 40,000-foot helicopter view of our topics, which are supposed to be Manhattan-focused. And, of course, since Donald Trump is, Manhattan real estate, that's what we're talking about tonight. And the topic is, and you can call in live, ladies and gentlemen. You can call in on this phone number right here, 212-757-1541. And, you should take advantage of these brief time we're together here because you never know what's going to happen to this show. So you want to call in, The topics tonight are, should we deport Trump? Penis transplant. If any of you read the article about the penis transplant, we're going to talk a little bit about that and the possibilities that brings up. And how can you tell the jihadist amongst us? So we're going to describe what you're supposed to look for to kind of tell a jihadist, to kind of help everyone, be able to see something, say something, I guess. And we'll talk about that. So you can stay tuned for all of that and more, but first Lorraine and I got to say hello to each other and see how we're doing. Of course, we got the weather dude in the middle of all that, the NYC weather dude. He'll call in and Skype in, actually. We'll Skype to him at about 8:14. He'll give you that 7-day forecast. And at the end of the show, we'll play the #1 song from one of the Billboard top charts, all right? And I'm not playing Adele's Hello anymore, and we're not playing Justin Bieber's Sorry or What Do You Mean, but they're still at the top, but we're not playing them again. So stay tuned. You'll see what we're going to play. Lorraine, have you been following the Trump saga?
Yeah, I think it's not as earth-shattering as some people make it out to be.
Why is that?
Well, I guess that I'm used to a lot of drama in my life, so I just kind of shrug my shoulders, and I know it'll come to pass, so.
Well, I have a mosque in my neighborhood, like a block away. It's in one of the, well, it looks like an apartment building, but they just call it a mosque. They get special parking privileges out front. That's how you know. And, I saw the guy coming out. I asked him if everything was all right. He said, no one ever bothers them there. But, I hope Muslims aren't getting, bad rap and, abuse because, Muslims are, most of them, of course, are on the front line of fighting the jihadists. So.
Well, they need to denounce them in a louder way, I feel.
I guess that's the undertone of the Trump message, is that, this is a Muslim problem, so the Muslims should take care of it. And for now, until we figure it out, that's what he likes to say, until our government, our elected officials figure it out, so, until whatever, then until that'll never happen, right? To stop them. And I guess,
I mean, just think about it logically, Tony. If they stopped the problem completely, they wouldn't have a job.
Who, the politicians?
Anyone in the government. If they solved the problems, they wouldn't have a job.
Yeah, but I don't think they could even solve the problem if they want to, But anyway, so should we deport Trump, ladies and gentlemen? Do you have an opinion on our fellow Manhattanite, and all the things he's been saying, or do you think it's okay? You're just jaded like Lorraine, and, it's okay to say things.
To where?
Huh?
Where would you deport him to?
Well, I mean, I was thinking like Syria or, I was thinking, Lorraine, you know what he did? This is my analysis, of course. And I actually think he could be part of ISIS because he's played so much into their hand. So what he said is we should stop all Muslims so we don't have any more attacks. That's what he's kind of said, right? He said we should stop all Muslims so we figure out what we're doing, what's wrong. But what he's really saying underneath is, to help stop the attacks. Because that's what we're trying to do, is to prevent terror. I'm assuming that's why he wants to do that, right? But And what he's setting himself up for is between now and the election that there is a terrorist attack here by some jihadist organization or Muslims, and he can say, I told you so, I was right, we should have stopped them then when I said so. And if we'd stopped them then, if everyone listened to me, then, you know, we'd all be safe. I think that's what he's set up for, which of course, you know, places the bet that we're going to have an attack before the election. What do you think of that, Lorraine?
Well, I mean, it seems like a given at this point.
I guess so.
I
guess so, yeah. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, I hate to laugh, but...
Yeah. Maybe it is a given. You see Amy Goodman's show right before us? She's still at that climate conference with that dreary backdrop from the lobby or wherever they are. I mean, I thought she'd be out of that climate conference by now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard it was all BS. I don't know.
Wow. Anyway.
I heard they're not going to do anything no matter what anyhow, so they're just wasting money.
So, do you know how you can tell the jihadist amongst us, Lorraine? Do you have any ideas?
I'd say, like, the hatred in their eyes. I mean, if you look at some of these pictures of these people and you cover one eye and you look at it, you can see one expression, you cover the other eye, you can see another expression. And it's always like some really deep psychological darkness.
Okay, well, the French government has come up with a way to help spot jihadists. You guys call if you want to talk. If you talk about Mr. Trump, or if you want to ask about the penis transplant, you know, trade-ins even, maybe trade-ups. There's a whole realm we can talk about there. But how can you tell the jihadist amongst us? We're going to tell you now, and maybe you have a friend or neighbor who fits this pattern, and maybe I think you might call 311. I'm not quite sure what you would do. Does anyone know what to do? If you know, then what you should do. Maybe there's a number, a Homeland Security number or something like that. Or the police department, I guess you'd call. Well, there are 7 ways. I think we actually have, but we don't have to put it up. I can just read them. There's 7 ways to tell a, well, actually, yeah. There's on one of the tabs, I have the, there it is. So we can take me off and we can take a look at this for a second. So there's 7 ways, or a number of ways, to tell if a person is becoming a jihadist or not. The first one on the upper left-hand corner is because you find them. If you knew someone who was your friend, then all of a sudden they're not your friend anymore. Pay attention, New Yorkers. If you know anyone who fits this profile. Have you lost a friend recently?
That's everybody.
Well, okay. Step number 2, you begin to reject members of your family. All right. Just because.
That's everybody.
Okay. And step number 3, you drastically, brutally, actually change your eating habits because. You know, much of our food is processed and impure and all that kind of stuff. So you change your eating habits drastically if you've seen anyone do that. Maybe they're moving.
Wait. So they're really skinny, or they have fat?
Well, I don't know. They just change. So just anyone who's changed their eating habits drastically. So if you've lost a friend, if you're not friendly anymore, change your eating habits. Those are 3 check marks for a jihadist. The next one are you abandon. Oh, you don't go to classes or schools to learn any kind of professional stuff because you don't believe in that way of life, so you kind of become unemployed, sort of, and on purpose. You don't listen to music anymore, so these people will lose their iPads and lose their iPhones and not be using the little headsets, so you won't see them with like the little white Apple thing. Okay, because they stop. The images are of the infidels, and you know they're not pure, so I'm unfriendly. So far, if you're estranged from your family, if you've changed your eating habits, if you stop going to school, stop studying, if you don't listen to music anymore, and you don't go to movies, if you stop sporting activities, because sporting activities mix men and women having fun, and they don't like doing that. So if you notice this person stopping sporting activities. And last but not, if you change your clothing, if it becomes very, very dull clothing, not a lot of style in it. and because you don't want to be like stylish, you know, you like wearing the thing that you know, etc. And media sites that are jihadists, etc. So there you know, ladies and gentlemen. Now you know how to look around you where you're living. Okay, if the person has estranged, I'll go over them again because I know them sort of by heart now, having done it once or twice. If they're estranged from their family, if they start losing friends, they change their eating habits, they don't go to sporting events anymore because they don't want to get exercise and mix with men and women together, they don't watch TV, they don't listen to music, they frequent, evil social media sites, and they change their dress, they become very plain, and they stop studying, all right? If those are sort of a pattern you notice in someone, it's probably they're a jihadist. And you'll want to contact someone like an MTA employee.
Or the FBI.
I'm just kidding, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, yeah, if you could find an MTA employee. We're going to have the NYC weather dude in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Should we deport Mr. Trump? Do you agree with what he said? Should we bar all Muslims from entering the country? Do you know a jihadist amongst us? I gave you the 9 telltale signs. I did. Let's move on to penis transplant. It all goes together, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to connect the dots shortly. Okay, the penis transplant. Within a year, maybe in just a few months, a young soldier with a horrific injury from a bomb blast in Afghanistan will have an operation that has never been performed in the United States, a penis transplant. So, of course, there are, from 2001 to 2013, 1,367 men in military service suffered wounds to the genitals in Iraq and Afghanistan. Horrible, of course. Yeah, horrible. But the penis transplant is going to actually happen, and just the penis will be transplanted, not the testicles where the sperms are produced. So if the transplant recipient does become a father, the child will be his own genetically, not the offspring of the donor. So the penis is just be the tool. But the thing that's really interesting, Lorraine, well, I thought it was interesting, is where it can go from there, right? So they're going to do this transplant. It's like the heart, right? They did it first in South Africa, and then they built on. Hey, we're going to call the weather dude real quick, the NYC weather dude, because we're going to give that a try, because we said we'd call him at 8:14. And you guys start thinking while we're doing the weather, if we reach him, about that. Once the penis transplant gets good, is there someone's penis you would like, or would you like to trade up, or you have a partner that you would like to trade up, or maybe trade in?
This works out, guys. Bear with me. So we have Thursday with a 57, tagged by Friday 58, nothing really special. If we got even a lineup to 59 on Saturday, we're going to peak up at 62 on Sunday. Again, nothing really special. It's still going to feel around the same temperature. Going back down to 57 Monday. Day to watch out for is all the way next Tuesday at that 51 with a 60% chance of rain. So definitely prep for that if you're traveling or whatever. Again, we have a 52 the following Wednesday. So really things to watch out in the 7-day forecast. We have that 62 Sunday. Again, that's nothing like super special, but definitely be aware of that next Tuesday rain possibility. So moving into the motivational quote, this one is pretty cool. Here we go. The past should be the past. It can destroy the future. Live life for what tomorrow has to offer, not for what yesterday has taken away. And take from that what you guys will. And here is my health tip. And this is something that I personally struggle with every single winter because I live in an apartment complex, so I don't control the heat, so the air definitely gets really, really dry where I am. And something that you can do, so what happens when the air is dry in your apartment or wherever you're living, it can lead to cracked skin, and it also increases symptoms of asthma and can give you a sore throat. So what you can do is, like home remedies, you're told to hang up wet clothing like a t-shirt or just like a towel around the house and let it dry naturally. Though it's not really recommended that you do that. The ultimate form to get the best humidity is to just buy a home humidifier, I guess. Sorry about that. And the best humidity levels in the wintertime is to keep it at 30%, and during the summertime, for those of you thinking that far, is at 60%. But definitely keep that in mind if you're someone who, like me, lives on a controlled weather system in these controlled apartments, and you definitely are suffering from asthma, chapped lips, or a sore throat. So that is my health, my motivational tip, my 7-day forecast. Tony, thank you very much for your time. Peace and love.
Wow, weather dude, my weather dude, thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, he couldn't hear us, but he did his show. He's such a professional bit there. Lorraine, how was that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he carries the show for us there in the middle. So we'll just sit here and relax a little bit. And if anyone has any thoughts on Mr. Trump, do you think, you know, Lorraine, he's gonna get the Republican nomination unless the Republicans dump him, which they might do?
No, but he has so much overwhelming support that you have no idea. Because all the independents are going to vote for him, and all the women.
I don't think so, Lorraine. I think the last trick will be on him because, you know, he's maintaining, he's running the narrative. Okay, that's why he's winning. He just took control like a TV. He's a TV guy. He's like you and me, Lorraine. Okay, so he grabbed onto the narrative, which is a big bunch of narratives, which just create. You know, it's an old story. Negative gets coverage. Hello, you're on the air.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. As I'm looking at the screen, should we deport Trump?
What do you think?
I think it's ridiculous. On what grounds?
Oh, well.
What I mean?
Well, let me ask you. Do you support all the things he's been saying?
No, I support approximately 85 to 90% if I wanted a percentage on it.
Well,
it goes back to freedom of speech. And you have this political correctness on the left side that anything that they don't agree with, they get their feathers up. And that's ridiculous.
I agree.
Yeah, so the political correctness thing is way out of control.
But don't you think it's a little bit, not even a little bit, it's, you know, someone around the world looking at what we say and what he says about keeping all Muslims, an entire religion. I mean, the last place that sort of was enacted out as a war besides right now with ISIS and you know, that, it was in Northern Ireland, right? The Protestants and the Catholics.
Yeah,
I mean, but neither one of them said, oh, we'll keep all Protestants out of the country. Or all it's just sort of a ridiculous notion.
No, well, if you have
I mean, it's not a positive thing.
Northern Ireland.
Sorry?
You have to know a little about the history of Northern Ireland to have a conversation on that. As a matter of fact, I'm going back in April, and I will be in Belfast.
I've been there. I've been to Dublin and Belfast, and I mean, the issue though is it's sort of a. I mean, I guess what people are saying is that comment portrayed the USA as very sort of, you know, against all the principles of inclusion. You know, it sort of took a whole group of people. It's sort of like saying the NYPD. You know, we've got these people who, you know, shoot some, you know, or chokehold or whatever, and then they color all the NYPD people as bad when they're really not, right?
Well, that's narrow-minded. Going back to your point about other countries looking, it's an individual, and you have people in the Republican Party who back away from him because of what he says, and sometimes he definitely goes over the top.
Are you going to vote for him?
I'm sorry?
Are you going to vote for him?
Well, my gut feeling is I don't think basically, once again, I agree with...
Let me tell you something, sir. Let me stop you because we only got a couple more minutes. I want to tell you something. I asked you if you were going to vote for him because that was what I was telling Lorraine when you called up. Because I think people like you who support him 80, 90% and what he says and sort of like the narrative he's taken you on, when you get to the booth, though, you're the one who's going to have the last laugh, and you're going to do it on him, and you're going to pull the plug and leave him there with nothing because you run the show. That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, I can't dismiss the 85 to 90% of what I agree with Vaughn. And with that said, I more than likely would vote for the man.
Wow. All right, well, we're going to let you go, sir, and take another caller, all right?
Will do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for calling.
My pleasure entirely.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
No audio in the booth. I have no audio.
Oh, you have no audio. Oh, well, this caller left, and we're waiting for another caller to call in. It's all good. It's all sounding excellent. Hey, Lorraine, we had a good caller there, huh?
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
He has a lot of support, and a lot of people, just because he says one thing that might be a little bit over the top, like the gentleman said, doesn't mean you're going to exclude everything else.
Well, I tell you, it's going to be the Republican Party will be changed forever if he becomes president. Wow.
Well, and...
It's already changed forever.
Well, I think it's gotten better because of him, because before it was too boring.
So, hello, you're on the air? No one else is on the call. Well, that was a really good caller we had. We got another, I don't know if we're going to play the video. We're just going to leave it going here, this show. Give anyone else another chance to call if they want. I'm really looking forward to Christmas. I don't know about the rest of you guys. I was going to play some Christmas videos, but we're going to wait a couple weeks for that and do that closer to Christmas. What else is up, Lorraine?
Well, well, I want to get back to the transplant.
The penis transplant. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, we were saying that the first penis transplant in America is going to happen in a couple months, and where we go from there is they get better and better at it. And Lorraine was.
Is it going to be from a cadaver or from a live person?
No, it's from a cadaver, a person who donates their penis. So they die and say, I'm going to donate my penis, and then they get the penis on, they put it back, and it grows together. And at first they can do urination and then ejaculation and all that stuff. It all gets back to working.
So the cadaver comes back to life.
The penis, yeah, gets back to work, basically. Let's call it that.
The word.
So, I mean, if you could have any penis in the world, ladies and gentlemen, or, well, lady or gentleman, I guess, whose penis would you want? That's the question. And if you want to talk about should we deport Trump, the gentleman who just called said no. Why would we deport Mr. Trump? And if you can call back and tell me the 9 points of how to recognize a jihadist that I read twice here, I'm going to give you a prize, all right? A big prize. You got 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
Well, could there be organ donors for these transplants?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
So people would actually sell them?
No, I think you'd give them for free, but I guess eventually you could sell them. I mean, maybe you could sell them by the inch. It's good to mix all these topics up together, ladies and gentlemen. Trump, penis transplants, jihadists. We're not scared here at What Really Matters NYC. We go with the flow. It's such a, I'm so looking forward to Christmas, Lorraine. You don't know the holiday, to arrest. Anyone want to give me the ways to tell a jihadist and win the big prize? The What Really Matters NYC prize. Well, I'm glad we didn't play the music video because it wasn't really a good one anyway. So yeah, this is the construction on Times Square. I think this was the old 7th Avenue maybe or something. So that's called the pedestrian walkway. And they're getting kind of close to finishing all that. You have 1:30 left if you want to call, ladies and gentlemen. But if you don't want to call, it's all right. So, Lorraine, are you around to do the show next week?
Let me go. Well, let me check my schedule. Why, is it going to be good?
I hope it's better than this one.
No, next week I'm not.
You're not? Okay. I'll have to figure that out. All right. Well, I appreciate our caller. I really appreciate our caller. We'll make a clip and put that up on the site tonight, okay? Look for that. And so, sir, your call will be on my site, What Really Matters NYC, WRMNYC.blogspot.com. Tomorrow we'll put the clip of your call up there. Thank you very much, everybody. We're going to play the music bed. We're going to say goodnight. Lorraine, thank you again very much, okay?
Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye. Ryan, thank you so much. Jordan, thank you. Thank you, Eminent God. And thank you, caller, for calling. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if it's Wednesday, it's What Really Matters NYC. Every week, 8 p.m., live right here in Times Square. Peace, love. Good night. Wow, you know, the open and the close of the show is like the best part.